All right, another new interesting video. Well, I remember back then how Caesar was talking about how he holds the native coin LTC, right? But he doesn't have any LTCN. So he makes all of these projections. Well, what I'm going to tell you today is I'm going to compare LTC versus LTCN. A lot of people think that, yes, LTCN is all about hype and all that stuff, right? But to me, it always has an opportunity to do better than LTC. LTC is something that is more, I guess, stable, right? It's like putting your money into bonds. It's going to slowly go up, or like putting your money into VU, right? Because it's going to go up slowly eventually, right? Like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, because it has a cap at 81 million shares. And right now it's at 76 million shares. So by the time it hits 81 million shares and it can't produce any more shares, then eventually, if it's still intact, then the price should go up naturally. That's what Caesar thinks. But for me, LTCN is something that can be like Tesla, right? Extremely volatile. It can go up like crazy and then it can tank down like quite a bit, right? And but people still buy Tesla. People still buy these volatile stocks. And now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of LTC versus LTCN. So first of all, I looked up, the amount of LTC shares. I mean, LTC shares that there are. There's 76 0.18 million shares, right? And the price is currently 128. So how do I figure out the market cap for it? Well, you just take the shares multiplied by the price. So therefore, as I've written right here, right, the 76.18 million shares times by $128. So now the market cap of LTC is 9 billion, right? 9,743,360,000. So I'm going to round it off, right? By saying, let's say if the market cap is 10 billion, right? Then you just had to divide it by the 76.18 million shares, which is $131.27. Okay? So LTC has to reach 131.27 in order for it to have a $10 billion market cap. And then imagine if, investors add in another $1 billion to LTC, where would it be, right? So another $1 billion into LTC would be 10% of $131.27. So what you do is you just add $13 and basically 12 cents, right? 0.7 or whatever it is. It will turn out to be $144 basically $144.40. So from there, you get an increase of about $13, right? $13 per share. So it's $13 per share that you have that just increased. But imagine if that $1 billion goes into LTCN instead, then how much more money could you have made, right? So I said right here, but if $1 billion is added to the LTCN market, what would it be? So right now, let's imagine if LTCN is $11, right? Because it's an easier number for me to type in. So you take the 24.252 100 million shares, because that's how much they have right now, currently, and you multiply it by 11. That should be like over $250 million, right? $266 million. So adding $1 billion to it right now currently would make it $1,266 million and some change. So to figure out the market price of LTCN, because we're not looking at AUM, right? We're just looking at market price, because that is what matters. Is market price, because market price is basically the premium price. The premium price is either the positive, right? The like the times 2, times 3 of the AUM, or it could be like a negative 10% of the AUM. So to figure out the market price of LTCN, if $1 billion was put into it, then you want to take the total market price, which is the $1.2 billion, and you divide it by the shares, which is 24.2 million shares. So you get a price of $52.07. And then relative to where it is, which is $11, well, it's actually $10.50 right now. But if we can imagine at $11, right? Then the share price of LTCN would be $52. So if you put $1 billion into LTC right now, you're only gonna get like $145, right? Approximately $145. And you take 145 and you multiply it by the, let's say the NAV price, right? Which is 0.083. Your LTCN would be $12. Okay? It'll be approximately $12, right? It'll be about $12. But if $1 billion is added into LTCN instead of LTC, then it's going to be $52. You see how crazy that can be? If I had, so I put here, why put $1 billion into LTC for like a $10 to a $13 gain, right? So like a $10 to $13, I better be, precise. A $10 to a $13 gain, when you can put the same amount into LTCN and gain over $40 a share. Because remember, I'm using the price of if it was $11. So, $41 plus $11, which is like over $40 a share. So you can get from $40 to $41 a share, right? Let's hypothetically imagine if LTC investors take out $1 billion, right? They take out $1 billion, and now it's not 10. It's not 10 billion, but it's $9 billion. But still, LTC at $9 billion is still $120. Okay, so they're losing $10 a share. They're losing $10 a share, but they can gain $40 by putting into LTCN. And if these LTC investors are pumping up LTCN, basically without letting anyone else know, right? They're pumping up LTCN, and next thing you know, everyone buys into the hype because they're seeing the price go up by like $10 a day, $5 a day, and then FOMO starts and they're going to buy in. And next thing you know, you can have an exit liquidity. See how that works? So this is probably what investors did in 2021. They saw that opportunity. They took out money from LTC and they pumped up LTCN. That's why LTCN got so high. And that's why the premium got so high. At one point, the premium was like 40 times the NAV price. So obviously that can happen. And I think that did happen. See, people are very smart. They think ahead of time. But now that there's a PP thing going on, they just want to like double or triple or whatever, and they sell out to be safe. But here's another opportunity. That's why I'm making this video, so you can explain to people that, have LTC or that are rich, just say that, maybe pump it up like 10 million, 20 million, because that's going to get the ball rolling. That's going to get us on the premium. And next thing you know, maybe LTC holders, they're going to look at that and they're going to say, hey, I'm just going to sell some of my LTC to make the LTC money, right? So once they make the LTC money and they can sell out, and then LTC will go into winter season, and then LTC might even drop down to $80, $70, and that's when they can rebuy in again. So if they sell at 120, 130, right, and they pump up LTCN, now they're taking the profits out of LTCN, and then they can rebuy back in the bear season for LTC, and that continues, and they'll make more profit. So that's what I'm saying. Anyone that owns LTC, you can tell them about this theory, right? It takes a chance, obviously, just like putting money into Tesla, right? But the potential is so high that I feel like it's worth it. They don't have to sell all of their LTC. They can sell part of the LTC and see how this works. The main thing is when they buy, they have to buy smart. So they should look at my video about buying smart. And that's how we can outbuy the shorters. We have to wait for a good opportunity especially at the end of the market day, to outbuy the shorters. So then now the shorters will have to cover. And when they have to cover, now they become your exit liquidity. I hope this video has been informative for you, because it was so informative for me when I figured it out, that the more that people know about this, then the more they can understand and believe in the value of LTCN. And the same thing applies for BCHG. If you want me to do one for BCH, I can do it as well too. Just leave down the comments and I'll just tell you the potential of it and the calculations of it. And yeah, you know, we just go on from there. So I believe this video has been long enough for you. And yeah, just like spread the word about my channel, because I feel like all the things that I talk about makes a lot of sense. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your whatever it is by giving you like outrageous numbers of LTCN, but I'm giving you the mathematical part, the analysis part, the real part of the actuality of the situation of how high LTCN can go up by just doing certain things in certain ways. Okay, so once again, this is not financial advice, but it is good information. So please like it, share it, and do the best you can to spread the word and to tell your friends about, you know, this scenario that I've gone over. So with that said, have a great day and God bless.